What are you doing? What's going on?
Chilling, man. Waiting for this podcast to start so you and I can chop it up. Eric Angel, bro, we're a little bit of an intro here. Say hello. We'll keep it very loose. Hello, good time. We're having good time.
If you're saying so.
What's up, dude? Eric Angel,
Well,
the legend of New York comedy. Bro, a lot of diversity shows. Actually,
Absolutely.
you're a big diversity
Put
guy.
it on my ear?
Yeah. Usually, no. Those here. I'll keep it. It's people have a tough time with it. No worries. There we go.
Thank
You.
you. You don't have one, why?
No, I'm gonna put mine on. I was preparing yours. Oh, dude, that's like the opposite on the plane. You know, you're supposed to put your mask on before you help.
That's true.
I'm dead. I have no more oxygen.
Why are you supposed to do it to yourself? It's like if you have a kid, you think you're gonna do it?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a kid, I think you got to do it yourself first, so then you can have enough oxygen to help them.
him.
If there's any struggle, you
Yeah.
need the extra air.
That's true.
You know what I mean? You need that little bit of extra 2 seconds of air to help them if there's a struggle.
I love you.
So I guess it makes sense.
I love it.
Not really a big pilot guy, but bro, you're not from here. You're from like Long Island or somewhere with your accent.
No, yeah.
So,
so
a little bit foreign. Talk about your growing up outside the country and then coming to the United States. When did you come here?
I came here almost 6 years ago, and I born and raised in Israel.
Let's go.
And never thought I'm going to be in a different place. I never thought I'm going to live here doing comedy in my second language. But life is a surprise.
When did you decide you wanted to do comedy?
I basically did music was all my life for many, many years. I was singer, songwriter, released a few albums in Israel, in Hebrew, performing wherever I could. During the years, people told me, you're a funny guy, you need to do comedy, but I was never thinking about it. I did some jokes between songs sometimes.
Were you writing the songs?
Yeah.
Okay. Were the songs ever funny or they were just very meaningful?
I have a genre of few funny, but most of them was very serious.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, too serious.
Like, Adonai.
Exactly, things like that.
Nice, man. Well, it's a good transition. Good move. Are you enjoying the city since you've been here? When did you move here?
I moved here almost 6 years ago.
You just said that. My bad.
Yeah, no, all good. I'm enjoying the city. I basically started to do comedy only when I moved here. So this is amazing, like things that happened to me the last few years. It's the best place in the world to become a pro. Like, nobody can stop. If you're not lazy, nobody can stop you here.
Interesting. Because,
Yeah.
I've talked to comics about how they feel, compared to LA, Chicago.
Yeah.
And you're right. If you're in New York and you're not lazy, you can do as many sets as you want in a night. Crazily enough,
Yeah, even if people not booking you in shows, so you're going to do mics. There is mics in the 5 boroughs from noon until late night. They close you the door. You can go through the window. They close the window. You can go under the... Really, you cannot be lazy in this business if you want to do it because it's so hard to build your craft and to, but it's much more than to be funny. This is the sad part of the event. That it's not only to be funny, it's how to be funny, it's how to build bits, minutes, an hour, but it's much more than that today. You have the social media and you have this term in comedy that everybody telling you that you need to hang, you need to go to places just to sit there like a dummy and get to know people, to be friendly and to get connections, and then suddenly you're here and there and it's helping you. When you are in my situation that I'm also, I'm new here, I'm also a journalist. I also have a small production company for comedy that I'm traveling all around America, and I'm building my craft. And I'm married. I don't want my wife to leave me, so it leaves you a really small time in the day to go and just hang there.
What was your first impression when you moved here? How different was it? You moved here from Israel?
Yeah, I moved here from Israel. The first thing I felt here, it's the opportunities that you at least have hope. You can have hope to. Nothing is easy here. I'm already a few years here. I know how tough it is. The city also changed after the
Well, do you mean hope, though, for entertainment type purposes?
Listen, it's a market of 350 million people, first of all. So you have hope. You can sell, you don't need all of them to like you. if you have like even 100,000 followers that into you, you can, I don't know, maybe not become the most famous,
But you can
rich.
tour for sure. You
You
can
can
tour. Yeah.
You can make a living. You can flow. You know, it's so. This is what I felt from the beginning, that you have, even in what I'm doing. I'm working with many Jewish organizations with my projects. Until today, 6 years, every meeting I have, somebody's telling me about a new organization that I never heard about. That it's a chain with, you know, every state or like have 30 offices all around America.
Yeah, and it's Israel, I think, is the same size as New Jersey, they say,
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
What was it like growing up in Israel for people that may not understand what it would be like to grow up in the Middle East, right?
Yeah, this is also, I just thought about on my way here that this is something that I start to discover about myself since I arrived here, that I'm not only Israeli, I'm not only Jewish, I am a Middle Eastern.
Yeah, people never talk about that really.
It's
when
really,
we talk
yeah.
about Israel.
Yeah, I'm Middle Eastern, and it's, you know, I look very European, but I'm totally, if you can see my hands moving here, I'm very Middle Eastern. I can tell you now, I've been in Qatar in the World Cup games, and I ate hummus, or as you say.
Oh, you went to Qatar?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Or how you call it.
Yeah, what I call it.
Hummus.
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 Is that how?
Yeah.
Hummus.
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 So I ate there and I asked a spice for my hummus.
My
and
hummus.
They offered me Tabasco.
Yo.
Oh my God.
That's disrespectful.
Come on. As a Middle Eastern, I was insulted. I know judges in the Middle East, they will send someone to jail for a year.
For sure. You're not coming home with 10 fingers, I tell you that. They're cutting off at least 2.
Tabasco for hummus?
That's wild.
So this is something what is how to grow up there? It's, you know, through the eyes of my wife. This is the reason that I moved here, that I met Julia. By the way, I met Julia in the Shabbat dinner in JCC, the Jewish Community Center in Krakow in Poland. This is how my life changed, because I went to Poland to do what any other Jew will do there, to watch a concert of the Foo Fighters. So that changed my life forever, the Foo Fighters. So
wait, but where were you before? Like,
I lived in Israel.
and you went from Israel to Poland?
And my friend, I don't really know the Foo Fighters between us. Don't tell no one.
Yeah, I won't.
But I have a friend that was his dream.
To see the Foo Fighters?
Since he was a teenager.
Dude, that's a weird dream.
And
They're that good?
It was good. You know, it was like when I saw them, I don't know most of the songs, but it was like the best high school band I ever saw in my life.
Okay, fair
You know, with all the breaks and the rock and roll and the, exactly. So it was nice, but you know, he was much older when he did it, but when he was a teenager, they were big in Israel also, and he wanted to see it. He said, it's a very close, very nice, cheap flight, cheap ticket. Then you want to come with me for a long weekend there? I said, okay. This is how I arrived there. But what we spoke before, thanks to my wife's eyes, basically, I understood that what I was considering living as a normal way to live, basically wasn't that normal, you know, because most likely every year, second year in the summer, I was running to shelters, few times saw missiles in the air, for example, okay? This is not exactly a normal, since I'm 15 years old, then Bush, the father...
George Bush Sr.
Yeah, senior?
Yeah.
This is how you call it, the senior. Okay,
yeah, so
senior.
there's a senior and then the junior is the one who came in with the Iraq War.
Yeah, so the Iraq War with the senior, he went to Iraq and Saddam Hussein just started to throw missiles on us. We didn't do nothing, but he just wanted to do some kind of revenge. So since I was 15 years old, this is part of my reality. You know, that once in a year, 2 years, 3 years, there are missiles on my hometown or in Tel Aviv. There are people that live near the border that happens to them much, much often.
Like near the Gaza Strip?
Near the Gaza Strip, exactly. They're in the villages. So things like that, for example, it made all the country, all of us are a little bit post-traumatic. I'm not I've never been in a war. I wasn't even in the army in Israel. That is something that usually men are going when they're 18 for 3 years. So it's very different. It's just a very different way of living.
But growing up until you were 15 years old, what did your life look like? Was it pretty quiet? I mean, since, what was it, 1969?
No, I'm not that old.
No, I'm talking about that when Israel became,
a country? 48.
48, sorry, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was born at 75 after a few.
So from the age of like when you were born to when you were 15 and you started having to seriously going to bomb shelters, like
Yes.
how was your life?
Okay, I didn't know much. I born and raised in a very boring suburban city. The only maybe exciting thing that I had in my life that my father was.
Was it close? Sorry, was it close to Tel Aviv or Jerusalem?
It's also closer to Tel Aviv.
Okay, what were you saying about your father?
Yeah, my father. He worked. He did few things, but when I was like 3-4 years, he opened a cassette factory, tape cassette factory.
Dope.
So that was exciting to, and this is where I also exposed myself to Arab music and Greek music and things that
wow.
I
Comedy too or no?
no.
Okay.
A little bit. You know what? We had a group called Agashasha Chiver. There were a trio. Gashasha Chiver. Exactly. And they
Fucking
used
good,
to do.
dude.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
At least.
Somebody had to say it.
I love how you're flattering yourself. This is very impressive. Yeah. And they used to do sketches, and they were very, very famous. They really created like a new language for themselves from the Hebrew. And I fall in love with comedy, sketch comedy, thanks to them.
Was it like slang type?
Yes and no. There are things that you can still listen to them today, and it's really still about things that happening in Israel. So it was very also social comedy, and it was very funny. So this is how, thanks to the cassette, I also learned about those guys. But in addition to that, he also worked here. You know, he did the sound for movies in the 60s in Israel. He's a soundman, and in one point he had a Russian business partner, and he dubbed movies to Russian, and he showed them to Russians that came from the USSR in the late 70s, because they didn't have like today. We didn't have internet, we didn't have channels, and it was so successful. So he used to come here 3 months at a time in the 80s to do it here. He was screening movies in New York to Russians in dubbed movies. I never understand that, because why they don't want to learn English and just to watch the movie in English or in subtitles? But that was a thing. So this is So I used to go with him Friday nights, you know, to the cinema, and I sold tickets. I was like a Cinema Paradiso kid a little bit. And
So you didn't observe Shabbat?
No, never.
Did a lot of Israelis observe Shabbat? Like a lot of your friends growing up or family friends?
I didn't. We did like what we call kiddush in Friday evening, that you have the blessing for the Shabbat with my grandparent, that he kept the Shabbat and he went to synagogue. But in my life and my friends around me, we didn't do it. We were totally seculars.
Was there a specific time that you saw living in Israel where maybe the world wasn't so fond of Israelis anymore? Was it like when you turned 15 and you saw you needed to go to the bomb shelter? Was that like the hit?
It's just something. It's interesting to understand. Try to understand when the first time I understood that so many people are hating us. I'm not sure, but in Qatar now, it wasn't a surprise for me. But Qatar, first of all, it's a place. It's the first time ever that they let Israelis inside even.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Even with like an Israeli passport, some places in the world, you can't even go.
No way.
Right?
Even there are places like Algeria or Algiers, how you call it and say it in
It's
English?
Algeria, yeah.
Algeria. Even when I have an American passport, because it's written I was
Jewish
born
stamp?
Not Jewish, because I was born in Israel, I won't be able to go inside.
So if considering I went to Israel with my family when I was like 15 years old, did like a full tour. Then I went on birthright when I was 22. You think I would potentially have issues going to other countries because I have an Israel stamp on my American passport? Not to get so political, but I have heard that in some places it would be an issue because I've been to Israel, and especially if like I've been on birthright, it's probably
Yeah, no, but now it's a little bit late to tell you, but you could have asked them not to stamp you.
I'm like, can you guys just leave this one out? No, I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
They know about those things, so they just will respect it and won't stamp it. So. Maybe we'll go to Algeria, you will have some problems. But most of the world, I don't think so. Yeah. So people, there, I basically didn't have any problem, but then the Israeli media started to do some provocation with the people in Qatar from other countries in the World Cup, and then everybody was so surprised. Wow, people from Algeria hate us, from Tunisia, from Morocco, the Qatarians. People will kill us, will tear me apart just because where I'm from. And it's not only they hate us there, they have the narrative that it's so primitive that say Israel does not even exist. They love to tell you that. Okay, so where are we going to go from there?
How was your experience over there? Was the World Cup fun?
I really loved it.
How long were you there for?
12 days.
Did you travel a lot just being from Israel since, like you said, flights were not so expensive? Did you go to a bunch of countries? Or have you been to a bunch of countries?
I've been in many countries during my life, but the sad part that in my area, there are many places I cannot go. So now it's after the Ibrahim Accords, so now it's a little bit different. So
What's that?
Ibrahim Accords, it's maybe the best thing that happened during Trump presidential.
And how do you say that? And is that Hebrew? Yeah. What does that mean in English?
This is how they call it in English, Ibrahim Accords. It's like Ibrahim agreements. It's like between Israel and Dubai, Bahrain, Morocco, and it's a peace agreement. Jared Kushner, I think, cooked this thing, but it's a peace agreement that based on business. And they understood why you have to fight us. You can buy us.
Yeah, I mean,
it's much easier.
Israel is like a leader in a lot of tech shit. We're doing quite well over there, man.
Absolutely.
And like plant-based meat. I don't know what kind of stuff you're eating here in New York. Are you fully vegan?
No.
Oh, okay. You just put on fresh vegan shows. That's how we first linked. Erik put me on a vegan show. It was lit. The whole lineup was vegan. The place was vegan. It was very nice. Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good touch.
By the way, I started this, for the place that you came to perform the first time.
Yeah.
I used to do every week a different theme. Because I believe in theme comedy shows.
Let's go. What you do? I see you're doing like Asian, Black, Jewish.
I did one night with ginger comedians.
Oh, that's hilarious,
That
dude.
was a total bomb. Nobody showed up. Comedians that are lawyers.
We
Women.
gotta do a ladies' night with Erik Angel.
I did few ladies' nights.
There you go.
I performed. I was everything.
Of course, dude. You're the guy. Of course.
Yeah. So
what kind of stuff are you eating here? Talking about the vegans.
Where, in America?
Yeah.
It was really hard for me. I think the food was the hardest thing for me in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't like you weren't matching up meats? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, because it's now I learned, because in the bottom line there is everything you can find in New York. You just have to look for it. Mm-hmm. I had the Middle Eastern cravings, and I still have. The food in Israel is the best thing that we have there.
Falafel, seriously.
The falafel, the hummus, everything is fresh. And also now I even understand it more after Qatar. And when I told you, there are people there from 156 different countries all over the world. So this mixture of culture provide us also amazing food, but also the combination start to be between them. The vintage, not the vintage, how you say, when you combine, it's not vintage, this is not the word. I forgot the word, but that you mixture. Now I'm looking on the plate when I'm eating my Israeli food, and I say, oh man, this is from Yemen, this is Arab, this is Iraqi, and for me, it's just one plate that I'm used to eat. But so in the beginning, it was hard for me because American food, bottom line, it's a dead food. It's a dead nation food here. I'm for 6 years buying, even sometimes I'm hungry, just trying to build a decent sandwich in a deli here. Just a bit. I never succeeded with taste, some salt
turkey,
and something.
Maybe.
What?
Do you have like turkey or no?
What turkey?
Yeah, see? Like, guys, this is a typical American sandwich. He doesn't even know what the shit I'm talking about.
I know turkey. I know what is turkey. Yeah. But no, even, I don't know. What, I don't know. Never mind. But of course, there is so much good food here because of the ethnic food and
You have like a lot of options here, though. Like eventually, you start to find places that will have a good falafel. Like Kava, for the most part, they do have pretty fresh falafel. Have you ever heard of Kava?
Yeah.
Cava. They usually have fresh falafel, but it's hard to find because it's usually pretty dry.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So how was Qatar, though? Because there was a lot of talk about how quickly all the people who were working on the event had to put it together. Did it look super nice? How was the accommodations? What was the atmosphere like for the World Cup?
First of all, I don't know how much the people that watching us, Qatar is a place with 300,000 citizens and 202.5 million foreign workers. slaves that working for them. It's a very strange place. You almost don't see the locals there. Like where my hotel was, you don't see a local. It was like India too. And it was great. Sweet people, great food. So the accommodation for me was great. Listen, I'm privileged. I came there as a journalist with money. I had hotel. I had the official FIFA card. I saw 12 games. I had all the facilities of the...
That's dope.
Yeah, all the facilities of journalists. But Qatar, it's a bad place for too many people. They're like really, they treat the foreigners, they're like slaves. Even in the subway, it was written when I was there that the usual arrangement is suspended. But the regular days, if you are a foreigner there that came from, I don't know, from Sri Lanka to work, you cannot sit with the locals in the same car. There is like fancy car.
Even in the subway?
Yeah, you're not allowed. There is like a fancy car, like golden fancy cars. And there is the cars for families and cars for these workers. So you see this and you understand with all the stories that there's thousands of foreigners that came and died there during building the stadiums.
And the people just come there for the work? Because there's so much work to be had and they'll get paid more than they will in their home country?
They think so, but many times they are not even getting paid. And it's like during the summer there it's 120 and 130 degrees and people just fall and died during building the stadiums there. And nobody's taking responsibility. Nobody care about those people. And then you do like a World Cup, every other World coming, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, nobody cares, everybody sponsorship. So, of course, I had fun. For me, it was fun. But in the big picture, it's not a place I want to go back to. There is a lot of money there. They're buying everyone and everything. Even I understood that many American filmmakers going there because they're just giving a lot of money. And money buys...
To make Qatar look good?
Yes, of course. To there's so much money there. They have natural gas and... They just, buying whoever they want.
How much were some of those boxes? You know the box in like the stadium where they would have like 12 people?
Yeah.
How much would one of those be for like a regular first round game?
I think like $5,000 or $6,000, something like that. I'm sure that you have it's not, when I say it doesn't seem to me so much.
Yeah. I was thinking it might be like 50.
Yeah, maybe it was more.
Because it's like 12 people potentially with like the food and all that
I think
shit.
what I heard about the 5, 6, that if you want and you cannot drink alcohol.
Oh my God.
But if you add, this is the number I had, $5,000 or $6,000, you can add alcohol to this private box because money buys everything.
That's so weird.
You could have beer there only in a specific hotels, in a bar. If you're a foreigner, that you can, when you show your passport, you're going to be local. But people told me that there is underground,
like
world
and stuff.
And all kind of apartments that you can go and drink there, because they have everything.
Are you allowed to share a hotel room with your boyfriend or girlfriend if you're not married?
Very good question. Basically, you cannot be openly gay there. You cannot. Yeah, you heard my I don't know if you heard my set in your show I did a few days ago. I had a thing there. I came a few days before because to write articles and to bring some color about the place. And few times I went and I've been airdropped. Men send me Instagram profile pictures of them. I think people were interested in me. And I was standing like in a bus and somebody's aired. It didn't happen to me many times in my life.
But why in a country where gays are so looked down upon? Why would it happen there?
I don't know. Maybe this is the way.
That's the way to do it.
Maybe the way they communicate. And so, some tall white guy, it's different from them. I was, my ass look attractive. And I don't know. So my joke here that I'm telling now in the comedy, that I was amazed because they can be killed for that. The people took the risk that they could die for me, just to be with me. It's pretty big.
Look at that. There you go. There you go, bro.
So it's minimum, if you get there, it's minimum 7 years in jail if they caught you doing something. Yeah, but there are gay people, they're 100%, and it's happening just behind closed doors.
What about boyfriend and girlfriend sharing a room, though?
You cannot leave boyfriend and girlfriend sharing a room.
Even in the hotel where they serve beer in the lobby?
I guess you can.
In that one.
If you're a foreigner,
but in general, yeah.
I don't think they check in the hotel, these fancy hotels there. By the way, the last 10 years, they build an area that is like New York on steroids. Like it's crazy expensive. The area I lived was very affordable, everything cheap and fun. 20 minutes from there, New York on steroids.
Like skyscrapers and
Skyscrapers
stuff. And restaurants.
Yeah.
Fucking Salt Bay. You know that guy? Fucking that
Crazy malls and very expensive. The sports bar and the beer is crazy expensive. It was like, I don't know, a pint was like, I don't know, maybe $18, $20 just for a glass of beer. But this is where the people with money coming. So, yeah.
What do you see for Israel in the future?
Oh, this is a hard question. I don't know if you know what's going on now in Israel, but we have a very bad right-wing fascist new government. And I saw it coming because I know what's going on. Because the right-wing crazy people having 10 kids where I still don't have one. So, the numbers they win by the numbers.
Well, but is that more of a religious thing? In having 10 kids, right? Like
10 kids, it's more religious. Yeah, if you have 10 kids, yeah. But today, many people regular people have 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's some craziness. And unfortunately, for now, I don't, now they're trying to change. They want to cancel the Supreme Court or to make it much weaker. And for now, sad to say, but it's not going to a good place.
So do you think it's getting more conservative or more liberal? So what do you see as tech advancing a lot in Israel year after year? What do you see for social media and I guess media and entertainment in general for Israel as a country?
That's going to be a big fight. They're already saying that if they're going to do what they're planning to do now, people will invest less and companies will go out and it will injure all this industry. And I think, already most of the left wing of Israel doesn't live in Israel. He lives in Berlin, in Germany. And people just going, trying to get foreign passports. And it's just like the history. It's like, the Masada, you've probably been in the Birthright tour. So
hiking Masada.
So the real story of Masada, in the end, there was extremist Jews that killed less extremist Jews. And it seems to be again the same story.
It seems like going backwards. I mean, it's like California. Nobody wants to live in California because the taxes are out of control. You can't start a business and be successful in California. Theoretically, that's what people say. So they want to go to Texas, go to Florida. Yeah. Even in New York, people want to go to Florida, want to go to Texas. Yeah. So, I mean, government laws and then taxes and how people live on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and add to that now they're trying to destroy the status quo between religious and non-religious, and the gay on the table it's going to be, even until now, Tel Aviv is one of the most gay-friendly places on earth. So I don't know. It's like it's like New York and the rest of America, and Tel Aviv and the rest of Israel. It's gay-friendly and. But they're talking about gay rights again, and now the abortion on the table. So it's, soon we're going to start to sell weapons, and we're going to be officially America.
Is your family still there in Israel?
My family, most of it is still there.
And do you see yourself ever living there full-time again, or you're here full-time now?
I don't know if I'm going to stay forever in New York. It's not an easy place to live in. Very demanding financially. And sometimes the craziness is a little bit too much for me. And I don't know, but I don't see myself going back to Israel soon. I don't see myself going back to Israel. And for now, I'm totally here. And all the world now is in a bad shape. So I don't know exactly.
You can't find a good country. Did you ever go on Birthright? You're not allowed to, right?
No, I'm
being actually born there.
No, when you're in Israel, you cannot. Only if you're a soldier that have to sleep with you guys.
Oh yeah! My God! Literally, we had a bodyguard and then like another soldier when we went on Birthright. They were great.
Yeah,
they're amazing.
And
they had guns and shit.
They're pretty guns and shit. There is some funny comedian in Israeli guy that has a whole bit about how he's the only soldier ever and didn't have sex. during those
in the Bedouin tents.
when he was the security guard.
Yeah.
And they took his he'd been punished after he came
'cause
back.
He didn't smash.
He was a disgrace for the army.
I hooked up with a girl in the Bedouin tents.
The what?
The Bedouin tents. So like when we ride the camels,
Yes.
and then that night they put us up in a tent.
Yes.
I hooked up with a girl in that tent,
of
dog. It was lit. It was hilarious.
You have to. It's part of
Yeah,
the,
you have to. Shalom, freaking. And dude, riding you ever ride camels?
Don't really, maybe once. It's not really my thing to ride camels. I don't know. But you know that now they cut the Elderson family that was basically paying for the birthright. He passed away 2 years ago.
I thought that there were a number of families that just donated, like somebody just donated like $1 billion, and then that was good for a few years.
So they used to give. Maybe there are few families that are doing it,
Yeah.
but I know that they used to give 40
Adelson.
million, and now they cut it to 10. So I don't know how many.
Well, knowing us, I'm sure somebody else will put in a few million
Yeah.
to allow
I don't
that
know.
beautiful trip. It was a crazy trip, man. It
Yeah,
was
but-
really demanding.
yeah.
I will say. It was like 11 or 10 nights and 11 days of just straight boom, boom.
Yeah,
Masada, freaking the cemetery, boom, no sleep. Go to the Holocaust Museum, cry your eyes out, go back, hike. Oh, nice. We get to have shawarma at the mall. Okay, back on track. It was crazy,
You have
dude.
to tell
And then
this.
sleep in the hostel. This
Yeah.
kid's snoring. Fuck, it smells. What am I doing here?
You have to make a beat. That's fast that you said it like this. Take that shawarma. Take that. It's gonna be hilarious.
And then looking back on it, man, I'm like 10 out of 10. It was a great trip. But then in it, I was like, this is like 5 out of 10.
I have to ask you, did it
just
change
so
something
difficult.
about your perspective?
Bro,
What do you think? You know, there is a reason why they took you there for free, okay?
I don't even think it was propaganda, to be
Okay.
honest. I just think it was like, I don't want to sound corny in saying it, but it was like a soul searching type of trip. You know, doing all those activities, seeing what my life would have been like if I didn't grow up in New York City, if I grew up at a different time,
Okay.
in a different country. Dude, there were 18-year-olds on Masada when I was hiking up at 5:30 in the morning. Like, they were making sure that we didn't, get killed or whatever. And I'm like a 22-year-old kid. These kids are 18 years old and they're in the army,
Yeah.
and that's their duty to their country. Like, bro, I was freaking eating Cheetos on the couch with my friend when I was that age.
So it changed something your perspective?
Totally.
Really?
Totally. And I think seeing what it's like to be a Jew in some parts of the world, it's not great. In Israel, it's fresh. And like a ton of nice people, great food. I had closer relationships with the people on the trip.
Yeah.
I like fell in love with a girl for 10 days, dude.
Only for 10 days?
I mean, it lasted like a month after.
Ah,
Birthright.
okay.
But seriously, like, was so connected with this girl. And I think it was Birthright. It was just like bringing people closer to each other. And that's what they
This
want,
is what,
ultimately.
of course, they want you to maybe to come back after to live there or to marry a Jewish lady.
Exactly. I think
Oh,
that's
the-
number one. Because
course.
I think they pay for the wedding if you come back.
No, come on.
I'm not kidding. I think they
Really?
might pay for the wedding. Like up to like 40,000 or something. Should be fresh. If you met on Birthright and then
Really?
got
I
married.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you had to get
It's a
married.
good gig. Yeah, well, I don't know.
But it's too young. Now they opened it for older. But 22, you're not going to get married. It's not
Yeah,
like
right.
the 70s here.
Yeah, I think they did extend the age a little bit to like
Yeah, they-
25. Because initially it
No,
was
even
just...
more. Even
oh,
more.
yeah?
In the 30s, yeah.
Because I remember initially it was just like 18 to 22 or something.
No,
like
but
that.
I know someone that went in his 30s. I think they extended until like 35.
And then, so it's like age 30 to 35, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a better way to do it ultimately. If you want people
Yeah.
to get married,
absolutely. And they're doing all kind of different stuff. There is all kind of organization. There is also like single Jewish trips for
I
older.
might need to get involved in
Yeah.
that. I always get the text from Birthright still. They're like, "Do you want to go again?" I'm like, "Yo, chill. I am busy." Not my
Really?
different
You
wife.
can go again?
I don't know. Maybe they messed up because I have a couple different emails. So they're like,
Ah,
"Oh, this guy
okay.
hasn't gone yet." My other alter ego hasn't gone to Israel yet. No, but when I went with my family and I was 15, I had definitely less of a meaningful experience than when I went on Birthright. It's like when I was with my family, I was just like not paying attention to stuff. I was like, "Oh, fuck, it's hot out. All right, can we
Of
go
course,
to
you
the
were
hotel?
15
Can we go to the
also,
pool?"
no?
Yeah.
You know, everybody paid for you everything. You
Yeah.
just was complaining. That was your
Yeah, man.
shtick.
Did you grow up like playing sports? in
Yeah.
high school? What did that look like? Let's talk about that.
I played basketball since I was 8 years old until I was
dope.
17.
How tall are you? And can you tell us an American height?
Yeah. I don't know nothing about American numbers. Only I know only pounds because I used to see with my father in the Lebanon channel the WWF with the Van Erik brothers. You know the Van Erik brothers?
Okay,
Now-
wrestling?
Yeah, now they're filming a movie about the Van Erik brothers. So I fall in love in that. And this is, until today, I know how to calculate pounds. But all the other things, until today, I don't know. But my height is 6.3.
6'3". That's how you say it.
6'3".
And you know the Fahrenheit. You said 120 degrees in
I said
Qatar.
because I want you to understand. But I know that it says like, how much it says? Like 35, 38.
I don't know, dude. I thought we were
I don't
talking
know
in Fahrenheit.
exactly. Yeah, because I want you to understand. I know
Yeah,
that you
well,
are
I
a dummy
understood.
that
Yeah, I understood.
talking with these numbers.
How cold does it get in Israel?
Israel, it's getting to the, I don't know, depends where. In Jerusalem, it can be 32 also.
Is it kind of the same as here or no?
No way, no
Really?
way. In Tel Aviv, a cold day, it's 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. In Jerusalem, it can be very cold.
You want to talk about your basketball career before I cut you off?
Yeah, absolutely. Why are you going to cut? Yeah, no, I understand. Basketball career. I played in my hometown from the childhood. When I was 8 years old, we were a children team until I made the first team. But I played with them
What do you mean you made the first team?
like,
What are talking about?
like I was 8 years old and I played like for 9 years and I've been through all, it's not like in America that you play in your
And you go to college. Well, you go to high school. You play in high school and then college.
if you have a team, it's called, we have Maccabi.
Maccabi games, bro.
Maccabi games. So I
played
was
tennis in them.
Maccabi Petach Tikva. You've been in the
Petach
Maccabi?
Tikva.
You've been
Maccabi games.
in the Maccabi games?
But I didn't go to Israel for it.
Okay. So you play for it. You have a team that you're going afternoon to play. You're not playing school. During school, they have also, when you're in high school, there are teams, some of them even famous, that have championships and they even go to the, European Championship, World Championship. But I played in like a club. So this club you have a team, you have a league when you're 8 years old, you have a league when you're 10, 12,
So
14.
how good were you compared to everyone else in Israel, though? Were you like the top
compared
dog?
to everyone. I was most of the years I was opening 5. I was a very good defender. I have a few trophies of the defender of the year. And
You got to send that to us. Hopefully, if you do send it to us, we're popping it up here. If we're not, Erik Angel in the future and everyone else watching, you'll know he didn't send me this picture.
I will ask my mother to take a picture. My mother is in Egypt now.
Good. When she gets back to Israel.
She's going back in 10 days. I will tell she's now in Egypt sending me pictures all day long. And so I can send you a picture of the trophy of the defender of the year.
Yeah, but bro, this is going to be out before 10 days, bro. We turn it around quick. So, maybe post-production.
We put it on a comment or something.
Put it on a comment, exactly.
Yeah. So
So when
I wasn't that good. I was okay.
But like the best players in Israel at basketball, do they stay and play Israeli pro basketball, or do they want to go to college basketball in the United States?
We used to
Europe.
have few. When I was a teenager, Yukon University became very famous in Israel because we had few very good Israeli players. Yukon in Connecticut. Doron Sheffer with Ray Allen. He was playing with Ray Allen. Well, why you're from there? You studied there?
Bro, I went to UConn. I played tennis at UConn.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Of course,
So
I
you
know
don't remember
UConn,
that?
yeah.
So we had the most famous guy that we had, Nadav Hemfeld, that did a very big mistake and came back to play in Israel because even the Celtics were interested in him, but he didn't stay with Jim Calhoun. You remember Jim Calhoun?
Yeah, dude. He was coach when I was there, when we won the
Exactly.
national championship
I interviewed him
2010,
few
2014.
Yeah. Do you know that one of the most funniest things that ever happened to me?
Bro, that's fresh.
One of the most funniest thing happened to me in my life that I'm here in America. One day I'm getting a phone call. Coach Calhoun is looking for you. I said, Coach Calhoun? And I spoke with him a year before and I said, Coach Calhoun is working for me? Why? What he wants from me? And then they put him on the line and he said, how are you? I really enjoyed the article. It was great. Listen, I am coming back from retirement. I'm starting to, I'm building like a small basketball team. I think maybe third division. He just did it for fun.
Division 3, yeah.
In some Catholic, I don't know, some college.
Yeah, it's like a smaller
college.
school, yes.
Yeah, and if maybe you can connect me to a good Israeli talent. Maybe we can bring. I cannot give them scholarship because it's
Division 3. Yeah,
exactly. But maybe and you can so. Coach.
When was this?
It was a few years ago when he came back.
So did you give him any recruits or not yet?
I was in touch with him. I spoke with a few people. I gave him a few names. I don't know what happened with that, but I was so excited.
That's dope, dude. Yeah, he was a legend at UConn. Obviously, he was the coach for like 30 years, the head basketball coach. And so when he was there in 2004, he won the national championships for the men. And then in 2010, when I was a freshman in college at UConn, which is what Erik is talking about, we won the Natty then, okay? And then also 2014, side note, but Jim Calhoun wasn't there. Yeah, dude, UConn basketball, UConn sports, that was the whole reason I wanted to go play tennis there because all the other sports were so good.
Yeah.
Tennis team, I mean, we didn't really have much money. We didn't bring in any money, not like ticket sales or anything. So just going to a school with notoriety and like having such a good sports program, that's why I wanted to go.
So the years that Ray Allen was there,
yeah, it was nasty.
With him was an Israeli guy called Doron Shefer.
I think I know that name.
He was then the first Israeli ever in the draft, number 36, second round. But since then we had Omri Caspi, first round with Sacramento, did 10 years in the league, and now we have Danny Avdia, Washington, the Wizards, that is third year. He's only 21, 22 years old. He's a very, very talented kid. So. His father is Serbian, so thanks to him, his mother is an Israeli, but both of them live in Israel. So thanks to that, we have him now in the national team, and he's already, made at least $20 million a contract in the Wizards. And so we have, sports. We're not that big in sports, as you can imagine, in Israel. Basketball always was our number one. But things are getting better. Now we have like athletics, and we won in 4 gold medals in Tokyo. I've been there too, by the way, for 21 days, and did comedy in Tokyo. It was amazing.
Let's go.
First time ever that probably Americans that listen to it's 4 gold medals. It's ridiculous, but it was like we had only one before. So we won 4 gold medals in one tournament. For us, it was big in gymnastic, athletic, and then.
Do you have any articles coming out that you're working on that you could talk about?
This morning I spoke with the lady, Leko Willingham. Now she's a basketball coach, and she won 2 WNBA trophies with Phoenix and Seattle. And she became the first foreign lady that became a coach in Israel. So she's there, and I spoke with her. I had a Zoom with her today, and I interviewed her.
What do you like better, though, stand-up comedy or journalism?
Stand-up comedy.
Pieces. So I was a journalism major at UConn.
Okay.
And I had my own UC TV show.
Okay.
I'd go on, I'd wear like a little suit and interview people. The same fucking shit I'm doing right now, dude.
Nothing changed. Nothing.
And then I would go around in college, I'd have the mic. It's the same shit, dude.
Nothing changed.
Yeah, but being a journalism major, I think it also allows you, like, you have to be on the cuff, you got to be on the fly, you got to manage everything, get the article in on time. It's like, it's very good to organize your thoughts, and it's like the same shit in comedy. If you're good at organizing your thoughts, you can spew it. I'm doing 50 to funny.
60 stories a year. It's a lot, and I need to find. I'm looking for the stories. I'm producing them. I find the people.
Where can we find those on your Instagram?
It's in Hebrew, and it's a printed magazine in Israel. You can find it online, but it's in Hebrew. But you ask me about comedy or stand-up. I'm definitely all in obsessively on stand-up these days. The thing I like the most about journalism, other than that, it opened to me to the world. I've been in Rio, I've been in Tokyo, Olympics. It's amazing. Moscow, World Cup, now Qatar, and many other small places, events. What I like the most in journalism is this, to talk with the person and to learn about him. And it's much more, because it's much more, I'm not interested only about, he scored 12.4 points, took 3, passed 3 assists. It's nice, but the story behind, this lady today, the story that she had since she was born, her father raised her, and she had something with her family, all kind of bad things that happened to her. So it's the documentary behind. This is what I like in journalism, to talk with the person and to get to know him better.
And really getting to know someone. Did you ever cover anyone who was in the Holocaust, survived the Holocaust?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I did few of them during the years.
Anyone that like really hit you emotionally and you were like, wow, I did not think it was that bad. Obviously you knew it was that bad. But
No, I knew it's that bad, but once we had a basketball coach. He was a very big player and then became a basketball, very, very famous basketball coach that also, he came back to Germany during the 80s and he was the coach of their national team. In Israel, it was like really, really hard thing in the 80s to do. His sister didn't speak with him for 20 years. Now it's different. People are a little bit more relaxed about those things. And every interview, I'm finishing with the happiness question. I'm saying there is a happiness ladder between 1 to 5. And where are you? 1 is the most not happy at all. Yeah. The 5 is where are you today? Now, in this ladder. It's a stupid question, but it's opening for amazing answers. And I'm sitting there with this guy. He died a few months later. He wasn't in a good shape. He was pretty old already. And he told me, listen, when I was 14 years old, people always asking me why after big games, when we won the Europe championship, he did big things for Israel and for the national team.
Basketball.
Second place in Europe, 1979, with the national team against the Russians was big, something big. We never did it ever again. People ask me, why you never see me in the pictures celebrating? Because I was always outside, like smoking a cigarette, smoking a basketball. And I couldn't really have joy in those moments because when I was 14 years old in Auschwitz, what I used to do? I used to move the dead bodies, in a truck to some, I don't know, some grave.
As a Jew or as a
Jew.
German having to
No,
clean
as
up?
a kid, as a Jew that he is there. So he's telling me that, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm like, oh man, I don't know what to do with myself. I froze. So he said, I never really, with all my achievements and all, nothing was really that joyful for me. So I think that was the strongest answer I ever got in my interviews.
Did he give you a number on
how many people?
Well, no. I mean, you said 1 to 5.
I don't remember even. I don't remember. I think I didn't even ask you that number. No numbers. He can give me the number on his hand.
He didn't have like a moment in life where he could really point to that. He harped on him being 14 years old and carrying those bodies. Like that was the last thing that he could tell people.
That was the last.
Or like he was just letting everything out because he wanted people to know or wanted you to know.
Yeah, I just talked to him about happiness, and this is where he took him. That he was could be really happy in his life, and this man really he did well in his career. He was an amazing basketball. His name is Ralph Klein. There was a film after him also. There is a Hollywood film. I don't think he did so well the film, but somebody filmed a movie after his
we'll pop it up
story.
right here.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was a great
Ralph
film.
Klein. Yeah, it was. So and I spoke with few Holocaust survivors. We also have a whole older friend. She's now in her 80s. She was a child in the camp in Sweden, and it's also we are the last generation that's going to know these people. Like these people are, it's unbelievable. And so, now you depressed us all here.
We had to talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
What's been your best moment as a comic and as a journalist before we get out of here?
As a comic, it's a comic / producer. I have this project Comedy for Peace that I established. Now I'm almost celebrating 4 years that I'm traveling with this project. Build it all by myself, selling tours, buying flights, hotel rooms, taking comedians. When I started to do it, now I'm thinking about it, it was insane. I just arrived here. I didn't know what is comedy even, and I just started to do it. And I think the first, there's few amazing moments with this project, but the first one, like March 18, 2019, it was 250 people came to see the show, bought tickets to the show. I did it with the Jewish Federation. So that was unbelievable.
And that was your first one?
That was the first
Yeah,
one.
dude. I had a similar first experience like
Yeah.
that. And thank
Well-
God for those like first ones where everybody comes, right? Otherwise you'd be like, fuck, is this not working? Should I not do it?
250 people
that's
came.
great.
That was, I couldn't believe it. Look, I thought it's like the bar mitzvah I never had. As a comedian, I have many bad experiences, but I think the biggest one was last year, for the first time that I was invited to do a spot in the Laugh Factory in LA. And I arrived there, and then I saw the line of people outside, and me and my wife just said, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And I was terrified, man. I never performed in LA before. I didn't know if they're gonna accept me. I was so excited and so afraid that we didn't even film that. I have only audio. And then the host that invited me, that his show, his Tehran, came and he said, you first. And I said, what the first? Are you? Boom, went to the toilet again. And but he started, it was packed room. It was sold out show. But he started with 20 minutes, very strong 20 minutes. The place was very warm. But I went on stage and I said, hi, I'm Erik. I'm an Israeli. I didn't even say the falafel, that I'm speaking falafel. Everybody was just, heard that I'm an Israeli and clapped. I said, I think it's going to be okay. And I did like 10 minutes and it was, wow. It was, the hard thing is the day after you say, I want to go back there. How the hell I'm going to go back there? Since then I performed there twice again, but still, it's a hustle. It's a hustle to build yourself and to come back and to get the good spots in the good places. But that was like, what the hell is going on?
And
Yeah.
as a journalist.
As a journalist, the best moment, wow, it's 15 years already that I'm doing it. The best moment. It's hard for me to say. I can say to see in my own eyes an Israeli winning a gold medal in gymnastic. In gymnastic, one of the core, like it's not like we're very good in judo and taekwondo and things that nobody even go to the press conference after, but suddenly to do it on the big stage. And I've always said I'm not into anthems and nationality and nationalism. But then when it started and they gave him, and you see the flag and the Israeli anthem, and he's standing there, this sweet kid, and he's getting the medal, and the tears just coming.
What year was that?
Last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. My bad.
Yeah, it was now in 2021, and 2 years already almost. And so that was an amazing to experience that as a journalist.
Well, what about covering something?
Covering.
Well, I know covering that, but I mean like a personal kind of story.
I did big thing in Israel, not connected to sports. A few years ago, I exposed the binary options industry in Israel. I don't know if you know what is it. It's some kind of a fake gambling. It's like people selling you like you invest, but basically it's gambling, and they basically just taking the money from you. It's a system that if you are earning, you're getting 90% more, but if you're losing, you lose everything. So it was a very cruel industry that I discovered in Israel, and they didn't only screw Israelis. There was tons of companies that were sitting in Israel and calling America and calling Arab countries and calling all over the world, and find all kind of suckers that want to earn fast money, and took from them sometimes hundreds and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I went inside those few companies, and I recorded them and I filmed them. And I was the first one in Israel that exposed them. Then it made a lot of noise. I've been in television, and then people start to write about it, and it came to the television. After a year, after a few months, they closed the Israeli thing. In Israel, you couldn't do it anymore. And after a year, they closed it from Israel outside. So as a journalist, I think this is my biggest achievement.
Saving people hundreds of millions of
Oh
dollars.
my God.
Maybe even billions. Right?
Yeah. And no one is really, maybe a few people remember that in Israel today. It's not that I got a lot of, because I was the first one, and then the television came, and then everybody showed up. But I don't care. It's okay. I feel very proud about it.
Bro, this has been an amazing episode. Erik, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, bro. Before we get out of here, we're popping up your Instagram. Tell us what you have exciting coming up in the next month or two.
Okay, thank you for that. So yeah, you can find me everywhere at Erik Angel Comedy. Erik with K, because my English, it's superb. And I need you guys. I have a lot of watch also my TikToks. I have more than 2 million views by now. I'm doing sketches.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm all over YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Of course, I need you guys. So join us. And big things that coming up. I'm performing regularly in the city if you're in New York. So just check this Instagram and see where I am. And I'm starting traveling with Comedy for Peace soon. We're going to Siena College. We're going to Colorado, Detroit, Vermont, hopefully Boston, and another West Coast too, number 4. And I'm speaking falafel, and I hope to see you somewhere around.
Yeah, follow the guy seriously. Erik Angel, what a great dude. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast, man. Thanks for doing the Ted Jones Comedy Show. And we'll freaking talk soon. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Peace.